Hi, I'm glad to welcome you. Let's take a look at the shape of an ear and the individual features of the ears in different people. At first glance, the ear appears to be something like a labyrinth, a maze, in which you can easily get lost. Therefore, it is best to start with a simplified form. What does an ear look like? Let's use vegetable analogies again. Let's imagine the head like a melon. Let's add a pear-shaped nose to the side, like in Archimboldo's picture. Why do we need a nose? We know that the ear is approximately at the level of the nose. The nose helps determine the place for the ear on the head. For the ear I use half an avocado because it has a rounded flat part and a deepening. The deepening is placed closer to the bottom. Let's cut off a small part of our avocado from the face side, where the ear is adjacent to the lower jaw, and our simplified ear is ready. The advantage of this simplified version of the ear is that there is no maze. Everything is simple, logical and clear. Now let's take a closer look at the shape of the ear. Let's start by drawing a simplified shape, an oblique ellipse with a deepening at the bottom, cut off from one side. The same shape as in the example with the avocado. In the deepening of the ear, called the concha or the dome, is the auditory opening from the jaw side. The auditory opening is located in the lower third of the ear. Now let's add a ledge that covers the auditory opening. This ledge is called a tragus. There is another ledge opposite the tragus. What is its name? Antitragus, of course. The soft part of the ear below the deepening of the dome is called the lobe. The external upper part of the ear is called the helix. It goes from the back side up, and on the front side its edge goes inside the dome deepening. How is called the part of the ear that adjoins the helix from inside? I think you guessed it right now. This part is called the antihelix. At the top, the antihelix is divided into two parts by a little dimple called a triangular fossa. I shade a little bit the deep parts, the dome and the triangular dimple. These are the deepest parts of the ear that adjoin the bones of the skull. When you look at the ear from behind, it looks like a dinner plate. We see clearly deep parts adjoining the skull and the upper part wide and flat. All the names of the ear parts we'll be using to describe individual features of the ears in different people. Parts of the ear are tragus, a roof for the ear hole; antitragus, the ledge opposite the tragus; intertracheal notch, space between tragus and antitragus; concha, the dome of the ear; helix, external edge of the ear; antihelix, the thick edge of the dome; triangular fossa, the dimple on the upper part of antihelix; lobe, the soft bottom part. Let's try to make out several variants of ears with their individual characteristics. Side view, the first variant, It's an oval ear with a 3 rounded lobe. Side view, the second variant. It's an ear of an open shape. The deepening of the dome is stretched horizontally. The intertracheal notch is wide. The earlobe attached, wide. Side view, the third variant. It's the narrow ear, vertically elongated. The deepening of the dome is compressed horizontally. The intertracheal notch is very narrow. The earlobe attached continues the line of the lower jaw. Front view, the first variant. It's an ear with a stick-out upper part. The lower part is pressed to the skull. Front view, the second variant. An ear with a stick-out lower part and with an upper part pressed to the skull. Front view, the third variant. The entire ear is pressed to the skull. These are not all the possible options for ears, but now it will be clear to you what you need to pay attention to when drawing. Now I invite you to draw some ears yourselves. Ready? I have selected for you 3 different ears in the side view and 3 ears in the front view. There are clear differences between them. It has to help you fulfill the task. Ready to get started? Then pause the video and try to depict the ears that you see on the screen. Later on I will show my drawings and talk about the distinguishing features of each example. Good luck in your drawing! So, how are your drawings? It was a difficult task. Let's compare what you did draw with my drawings one by one. Bottom left example. The ear is large, open, strongly sticking out in the upper part. The earlobe attached. The tragus and antitragus protrude very little. The border between the deepening of the dome and the antihelix is vague, about invisible. Bottom middle example. The ear is pressed to the skull, elongated vertically. The intertracheal notch is very narrow. The earlobe attached to the lower jaw at a right angle. Bottom right example. Ear with a sticking out lower part. The intertracheal notch is wide. The antitragus is turned horizontally. It looks up. The attached earlobe is massive, enters the line of the lower jaw at a right angle. Top first example. An oval ear with an attached lobe. The border between the lobe and the jaw is angled relative to the border of the upper ear with the jaw. The intertracheal notch is narrow. The deepening of the dome is extended horizontally. Top middle example. The ear is vertically elongated as well as dome deepening. The intertracheal notch is wide. The vertical form of the ear is extended down by a large drooping earlobe. Top right example. A deepening of the dome and the entire ear stretched horizontally. The upper edge of the ear forms a slight angle. The earlobe attached and fits into the jawline at a right angle. In the top row, the first ear is in the form of droplet. The second ear looks like an elongated oval, and the last one resembles an irregular pentagon. Take a closer look at your drawings and check out if some key features of similarity are missing. When we draw a small sketch, first we outline an external contour of the ear, adding later on a couple of internal details. For example, we add the line of the dome deepening with a tragus and antitragus at the bottom. And you can add a helix line. This is enough to describe the ear shape. You can do it without the helix line and draw the ear with just 2 lines. It might be enough. If you use 3 lines, you actually get a complete drawn ear. In the front view, you can also draw an ear with just 2 lines. The maximum what we can add is a helix line. That is 3 lines, and the ear is ready. It's all for now. I hope you discovered something useful. I wish you happy sketching. See you soon.